your Sunday morning. That chance for showers sticks around as we head throughout the morning time frame with temperatures in the 50s, and it looks like it may get close to that 60-degree mark for the day tomorrow with that, again, periods of rain as we head throughout the afternoon. And those rain chances will be increased for your Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's when our next system looks to develop and bring back those rain chances once again. I'll have more details coming up in the full forecast. Kaylee?
Brian, thank you. Now out of Atlanta, Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger says a letter potentially laden with fentanyl targeting Fulton County election workers has been intercepted. Raffensperger's chief operating officer, who oversees Georgia's elections, says the office will continue to prepare for threats heading into the 2024 election season. Raffensperger says his office worked with state and federal partners to quickly address what he called domestic terrorism. The FBI and the Georgia Emergency Management and Homeland Security Agency assisted with the investigation. Hundreds of Atlanta residents were evacuated after an apartment complex caught fire on Friday night. The city's Fire and Rescue Department said the fire at Reserve at La Vista Walk started around 11 p.m., adding that the four-story building suffered considerable damage. Officials called for a total building evacuation, and so far there have been no injuries reported. The cause of the fire is unknown at this time. An investigation is underway. Coming up, it's important to remember that some veterans come home with wounds that go beyond the physical. This Veterans Day, a program for veterans by veterans to help those at risk for suicide is about to go national.
And currently we have a very dreary view out of one of our Savannah cameras. More rain in the forecast as we head into the day tomorrow.
Making headlines this evening, a new program started by veterans to save their own from suicide is about to go national. NBC's Lucy Bustamante has details.
Fallujah, May of 2007. Marine veteran Matthew Gadomski barely survives a roadside bomb.
I was sustained a traumatic brain injury that we didn't know for years.
He needed his family, but connecting with them felt impossible.
They don't get what you just went through. Some of the questions were always odd. You know, how many people you killed? That's not really what we want to talk about. It's who didn't come home.
Matt's family watched his depression spiral.
Every one of my brothers were just waiting for a phone call saying I was dead.
In 2016, during a drinking binge, his mom reached out for help. And to his surprise, a fellow Marine from his own unit answered the call. Newcastle County, Delaware officer Nick Hurst.
He recognized that, and that's when the interaction really started.
You thought that your wife was coaching the responding officer.
I really thought my wife guided Nick to say that he was a Marine, that he was from 2-6, that he was a machine gunner. And I'm like, I don't know this guy.
Nick kept answering his questions, and when he named the friend they both had lost,
it was almost like a light bulb clicked on, that I wasn't just some random cop showing up in his front yard.
Matt let Officer Hurst secure a nearby gun.
That gun that was sitting on that workbench would have probably been grabbed.
That was the moment that Officer Hurst knew he had to propose a veterans response team, a unit where officers who also served would respond to veterans in crisis. He brought the idea to the Wilmington VA police chief, who set up the training with the Crisis Intervention Unit and the Homeless and Justice Outreach Center.
You're bringing a military veteran who's a law enforcement officer so that they can connect on the same level as a veteran in crisis.
Cecilia Gonzalez runs it. She says addressing their smaller issues often prevents the major crises.
The VRT officers came and mowed his lawn. I mean, you know,
little things like that.
Little things.
To show we see you.
Right. We see that you're struggling a little bit, and it may not be a crisis, so to speak, but it's a crisis to you.
Since 2017, officers from 41 different departments have attended this training. And this month, it expands to every VA regional office in the country. Atlantic County, New Jersey just started their VRT training. Marine veteran Detective Chris Southard heard of the program.
We work very close with the local counselors. So if we encounter a vet who's in need of some sort of resource, we can contact a counselor directly and they will help solve the problem.
The following video is how they say it should work. This is back in 2018 when a Colorado police officer responds to the call of a suicidal man. The officer realizes that he has served. Listen to the language he uses.
Dude, don't do it to another vet. Don't do it to me. Drop the weapon.
After 11 long minutes.
But I want to help you, man, because I'm tired of losing brothers and sisters.
The psychology of shared veteran trauma kicks in. Matt remembers that shift well.
I mean, if it wasn't for you, Nick, to be honest here, I wouldn't be a father to my kids.
A connection that one divine day saved Matt's life.
Who knew that would be Matt that would be the first person that I did it for.
Well, it's been just a super dreary day throughout the Low Country and Coastal Empire. We've got that thick cloud deck over the Savannah River right now. If you're taking a look at our live camera there, we're going to be seeing some rain showers as we head through the day tomorrow as well, and we're going to stay mostly cloudy along with that. But right now, temperatures 54 degrees in and around Savannah. We won't drop much further than this for those overnight lows, and it is a little bit breezy out there, north-northeast at around 8 miles per hour. Temperatures across the region, lower 50s as you head west. Statesboro, you're at 51 for Metter. Closer to the coastline, you're in the middle 50s, so just a touch warmer in those spots. A few areas of this line here of moderate showers working through Sylvania, just to the west of Statesboro. Otherwise, we're mostly dry, just have that thick cloud deck overhead. We could see one or two passing showers as we go through the overnight hours before more showers develop for the early morning hours of tomorrow. It's all thanks to a stationary front. This was our cold front that moved through. It has stalled out and become stationary. That's what's keeping the cloud cover in place and that rain chance elevated as we head into the day tomorrow. So timing things out for that morning commute, if you happen to go out and about to do any weekend activities, might be a little bit rainy, so you might want the umbrella or the rain jacket as you head out and about. This is certainly some good news, the rain. We are abnormally dry here in the Low Country and Coastal Empire when it comes to that drought level, and throughout much of the southeast U.S. we're seeing extreme levels of drought. So all this rain is certainly beneficial for the area, and we do have the chance for more rain as we head into the middle and end of the week. So this is all good news because we certainly need the rain. We're certainly down a few inches for this time of year. Timing things out as we head into the early morning hours of Sunday, we do develop the chance for some more rain, some of which could be heavier at times in a few cells there. As we go through the morning hours, though, it will start to taper. We will keep the periods of rain in check as we head into the early afternoon hours, and then by late afternoon, it looks like we'll clear out when it comes to the rain, and I think we'll stay mostly cloudy as we head into the overnight hours with a few breaks in the cloud cover as we head into the early morning hours of Monday, and I do expect a few peaks of sunshine Monday afternoon as well, but it will be cooling off back into the 40s as we head into early Monday morning. Before it's all said and done, I think for the most part, rainfall around 1/10 of an inch to maybe 1/4 of an inch by the time we wrap things up tomorrow afternoon with all this rain before the next system takes over for Wednesday and into Thursday. So here's your rain chances. You can see they back off for Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday they kick back up again as that next storm system works into the region. So you might need to keep that umbrella handy as we head throughout the week. Rain forecast sees 4 to 6, northeast wind gusty at times, 25 knots, small craft advisory, in effect throughout the next couple of days. Tonight we'll be stuck in the 50s. We'll have a few passing showers possible, and it will be mostly cloudy throughout much of the area. Tomorrow it will be cool once again. We'll have those periods of rain, especially during the morning hours, I think is when the heaviest rain will certainly come down. And again, it will be a little bit gusty at times as well along the coast. 7-day forecast, Wednesday, Thursday look like the wettest of the days as we head into the middle of next week. Otherwise, looks like we'll stay just a tad bit cool for this time of year.
You know what? You say cool, but it feels cold to me.
With the wind, it certainly is a little chilly.
Oh my goodness. I was in a hoodie and then my winter coat over that. And I thought I would never have to whip out that winter coat again.
Yeah, unfortunate, but keep it with you this week.
I guess you're right.
Good tips.
Good tips. Gonna need that coat for when you go outside for football and all that.
That's true, and it is that time. Anytime it gets cold, you know it's time for high school football, and the playoffs are here. We're going to talk more about that. Plus, we're going to check in with those Georgia Bulldogs. They're playing a top 10 matchup. We'll tell you how everything turned out right after the break.
Get your Get your free case review from Farah and Farah, lawyers in Savannah you can trust. Now, your Farah and Farah WSAV Sports Desk.
Good evening and welcome to sports. I'm Corey Howard. If you looked at the Georgia Bulldogs schedule at the beginning of the season, you circled this portion of the calendar right here. The Dogs playing another top 25 opponent for the second week in a row, and today's game arguably the biggest test of their season. Georgia playing their first top 10 opponent in Ole Miss and former Calvary Day alum and UGA alum Nolan Smith in the building, and he saw a dominant Bulldogs defense with the Dogs down 7-0 early in the first. It would be the senior Dejon Edwards. He rushes in to tie the game at 7. Then after an Ole Miss turnover on downs, Carson Beck finds Lat McConkey for the score, and UGA takes the lead 14-7. Now with the game tied at 14, second quarter, Edwards scores for the second time on the night. The Dogs back in front 21-14, and now with under 3 minutes to play in the first half, Georgia goes back to the ground game as Kendall Milton, he crosses the pylon this time, and UGA on top 28-14. The Dogs win 52-17. Our sports director Joey Lamar now joins us from Athens to tell us more about this beatdown. Joey?
All right, Corey, there are two things that really stand out to me. The first one, UGA is going to the ACC championship game for the third straight year, and they will face Alabama, the same team they played for the title in 2021. The other thing, their All-American tight end, Brock Bowers, was able to play, and he didn't just play, he had 3 catches, 34 yards, and a touchdown. So UGA is healthy, and they are headed back to Atlanta on December 2nd. Reporting from Between the Hedges in Athens, Joey Lamar, WSAV News 3 on your side.
Thank you, Joey. Now we're about to go really fast because I have a lot to talk about in a limited amount of time to get it all in. Georgia Southern's Eagles, well, they're trying to bounce back after a tough loss on Saturday, and they had the lead in the third quarter until Rasheen Ali goes 55 yards to the house. Ali would be the Eagles' kryptonite after he finished the game with 163 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the Eagles fall. Final score 38-33. Now on to high school. The defending back-to-back state champs, Benedictine, they're taking on Baldwin, and Benedictine's defense on fire all night long as they sack the quarterback. Then give it off to Nasir Samuel. He gets loose in the secondary, and he's going to take this carry for a touchdown. Benedictine went on to win this game in a blowout. Final score 41-0. And another local team in the playoffs, the New Hampstead Phoenix. Speaking of the Phoenix, this guy's been on fire. Rayshawn Terrell, he's been doing this all season long. He finds Damani Alex on the diving catch. Next play, a lot easier catch. This is going to be Jalen Hampton. He takes the screen pass the distance, and that's for a New Hampstead touchdown. The Phoenix will move on to the second round of the playoffs. Final score 40-12. And now it's time for some more scoreboards. Appleton County picked up the win 49-0 against Northeast, and Vidalia's season comes to an end against Spencer. Final score in that game 41-34. And a few more scores. Thompson, well, they blanked Jeff Davis 40-0, and then Toombs County, they're also picking up a big win 64-6 against Southwest, and Wayne County's season comes to an end losing to Spalding 34-21. And today marked the start of a new beginning for USC Beaufort. Just a year ago, the school announced that they'll have a men's and women's basketball program with their goal circled for November of 2023. So that brings us to here. The women's team playing their first game in program history in the third quarter. Sharing is caring. That's Kamara Griffin. She finds Jada Young running the floor and lay it up off the glass for the easy deuce. And the 9-1-2 connection working right here. This is Woodville Tompkins alum Janiyah Hayward. She gets it to the former Calvary Day stand-up, Michaela Primo, and I've shot with her in open gym before. She does exactly that. Long distance calls. She led the team in scoring with 22. The Lady Sharks win their first ever game in program history, 70-47. Now it's time for the men, and they're also taking on Morris College. And who would be the one to score the first points in program history? Well, a little drive and kick, and that's Zach Bowen with the bullseye. And USCB, well, they started the game with a 13-5 run as Kavon comes away with the breakaway slam. And later, it would be the Windsor Forest alum, Karan Anderson, letting it fly. His first ever college basketball game, and he scores 20 points and helps his team pull out the 130-88 win.
Just giving back to the community, just spreading love and trying to get the boys out here and having fun with it and learn a little thing or two here and there.
And former MLB pitcher JB, he's back in his hometown of Effingham, putting on a youth baseball camp. JB was drafted by the Red Sox in 2012 and made his MLB debut with the Oakland A's in 2016. He played 6 seasons, his most recent with the Diamondbacks in 2022. And that's a look at sports. We'll have more news right after the break.
Alrighty, no final story for tonight. We don't have time for that because I feel like, folks, you would much rather hear Brian talk about the forecast because, Brian, it's going to be cold.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit chilly, going to be a little bit wet as well, especially as we head into the middle and end of the week.
Ooh, look at that. 50s,
Yeah.
60s, 70s. We are all over the map there, but
Keep the raincoat.
definitely colder
Yeah.
from what we've been seeing as of late.
Have an extra layer ready and keep the raincoat handy as well.
Very good advice.
Yeah.
All right. Anything you'd like to add, Corey?
No, I'll just say take Brian's advice.
Okay. Well, that's it for us. SNL is coming up next. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Have a great night.